Hard to find a more epic Touhou theme than this one. They do exist, but it's few and far between. Gotta warm up. It's been 2 days since I played Touhou again, so gotten rusty. I've rested my brain. Yippee! Dude, sometimes some cabs feel hella scuffed. How warm is it down here?
Pretty warm. I turned it up too much.
I should... No, that's not what I should do. I mean, I probably should, but... I should sit on a little bit of Sawuda action. Just a little bit before I go to Mobijer. You shouldn't bottom hug the entire time. That's just being greedy. I gotta get the bottom hug on the cat. Well. Dude, bottom hug is actually the play. Dude, bottom hug strat is broken, Alan. Listen, it's a lot easier to play. It's good. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's honestly, like, the thing is with a lot of bottom hug strats, is it's not that insane to a degree, because when you're restricting one of your planes of movement, essentially, which is just moving vertically, it's like you have less options, which is bad. Like straight up fundamentally, it's undeniably worse because you're restricting you just have less options of what you're playing with. But there's a world where it's honestly not half bad, at the very least for learning purposes, because it gets you fixating on, like, specific things more. Like, I do a lot of bottom hugging on Momiji here. I do occasionally play vertically. And I do feel like that there is a... That was not me. Oops. That was also me pressing escape Q. That was not me timing it down enough. I think there's merit to practicing a bottom hug. Or when you're learning an attack. Because it'll get you to... It's easier, I think, to learn when you're doing this, because it gets you focusing on just one part. Because oftentimes in attacks, I feel like you are your own worst enemy. Especially if you're not like super experienced. Like, you're reaching a point with an attack where you're familiar enough with it that, like, you can, with the most confidence you could probably have, like, be completely comfortable with how your movement is. But dumb gab, yeah. I find that as a common thing where that's why I say you're playing too aggressive sometimes. As the Twitcher going up would have been that useful. It's like there's the downside of like if you play too defensive, sometimes the gap will have already long passed you. But if you play too if you play too aggressively, that's what I think gets. I think that's the biggest cause of people kicking themselves in the rear. Because like if you play too defensively, it's like okay, the attack got you, you got trapped. But like too defensive, well, you have to pivot. Like the ideal game plan on most attacks is you pivot between being defensive or aggressive whenever you read it as being necessary. Because often, look, because you mentioned Fearless Wind God. Let's take that for an example. If you're bottom hug, if you're hiding in the corner, like the attack can and will just clump and give you just something that makes you be like, well, this is not impossible per se, but like that was a sick ass move I just did. Holy moly! But it'll give you like just waves that are like this is terrible. Back up, yep. Like, oftentimes on Fearless Wind God, I feel like one of my biggest things is I'm usually hugging that left wall pretty close, but you don't want to be, like, all the way up to that wall. And when necessary, you want to, like, be able to dash 20% of the screen inward. Even though you're not in the middle, which is kind of, like, not necessarily the strat, it's like, in the moment, it's a good thing to, like, hey, take your time, dash to the side, and then, like, work your way back. It's like aggressive. It's the difference between aggressive and defensive dodges per se, and being able to recognize when you need to be defensive versus when you need to be aggressive is a very hard thing to toe. And then executing on it is a whole other story. But I hate this attack so very much. But what I was saying is, I think there is a cause on some attacks to being very to learning it simply with like a bottom hug idea. Like something like Saruta a little bit. This attack I think definitely a bit where maybe you're not always playing bottom hug, but where when you're not super comfortable with the attack, force yourself to bottom hug these, it takes away some of your options, but it makes it, I think, easier to make reads. Especially to learn reads, I should say. I hate this attack so very much. Also, as we all know, bottom hugging gives you a 3% damage increase, so it's literally broken. You should always bottom hug, only ever. Get bottlenecked on reading. Well, when you have attacks that are like, I'm not going to pretend this attack is anything insane, but it's an attack that I can compare to, like, Fearless Wind God, or even PDH to a degree, and I'm not comparing it in terms of pure difficulty, but I'm comparing it in terms of you have bullets come from different angles, and you have multiple different, like, sets of bullets. So it's like, there's multiple groups to focus on, and it can be really overwhelming to try to read everything. Well, I mean, that's always going to be a massive challenge, right? Predicting what's coming a second or two at a time. Like, ideally, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to be reading a second or two in the future and then dodging it as you're reading the next wave. But that's just not hyper reasonable most of the time. But what I was getting at is, I think in attacks like this one, where I said you or yourself are your own worst enemy sometimes, it's just like there's so much that can be going on at a given time. Especially the later this attack goes. Like, there's just so much there. Where, even if something like this is not as hard as some of those other attacks, I'm never going to pretend that. It's conceptually has a lot of similarities. I think, like, trying to it's essentially just breaking down what you're like reading at a given time. That's what I think I liked about the pre-reading on Divine Virtues. Like, I'm not doing my I am not pre-reading all the time on Divine Virtues right now. But what I do like is just breaking down the different waves and seeing how they go, and that just that helps me like read the attack better at times, even if I'm not necessarily pre-reading. Like, there are I am a lot more familiar now with like the comfort areas with like what I'm comfortable with on the attack, where I'm making down micros. Like, even if I'm not, because the example I use in Divine Virtues is a really good idea, where you have that, like, you know, I talk about there's the 3 blue and then the 1 on the side, and then she just kind of keeps looping that all around. And there's always that one in the back, and that's the one that, like, as I'm concerned about. And having, like, looked at the attack enough, it's like I know I'm comfortable, like, even when I'm not pre-reading, like, I see that wave and, like, I recognize that wave. Even if I'm not pre-reading a wave. For both the light blue and the dark blue, like, I can recognize this is the wave I want to focus on. A lot easier. I'm not going to pretend it's anything great. I'm not going to sit here and be like I have an 80% cap rate on it. Not at all. But it's making myself a lot... Like, even if I'm not sitting there, like, looking at the waves ahead of time and prepping myself for that, I fucking hate this attack, dude. Like, sometimes I'm doing that. Sometimes sometimes I'm playing up. Sometimes I'm pre-reading. Sometimes I'm playing on the whims of the moment. But regardless, either or, it's just I'm a lot more comfortable picking up what's there and recognizing what's going on. Shit, focus on the other part. Well, I mean, the inevitable reality of a lot of the hard things is there's what on, like, all the hardest attacks in Touhou, and even some of the not hardest attacks, like, there's just so much going on that you're not going to be able to sit there and perfectly read everything. Like, I can't sit here and read every dark blue bullet that's passing by me. Like, notably ahead of time, at the bare minimum. Like, I can see some clumpings. I try to pay attention to some things, like, okay, this is going to be there. Pay attention for this. But, like, you can't read everything that's going to be relevant on this attack. But it's important to, like, try to break down, like, what stands out as the most important things. And oftentimes, with a lot of the hardest and most bullshit attacks, it's like there's still things you can focus on. like, even on something as random as, like, not PDH, although that also would work, too, to a slightly different degree, Peerless Wind God. It's like, there's an aspect where I'm looking up to my right, a good, like, second up there, and I'm looking for openings. Like, if I see a big open area, at least, okay, big is, you know, objective, but if I see, like, a good-sized open area, like, I'm making sure I'm playing out of my way to try to go there, to give myself as much space to get to the next read. If I can. Like, there are certain lines that you want to look for, even an attack that's as because, like, Divine Virtues is a little weird in this regard, because people say, well, yeah, but it's fairly staticky, right? It's fairly samey. All the waves break down the same. Even if like all the waves are gonna play like ever so slightly different, you can't predict what's gonna be next. So it's like it still is sort of random. It's very staticky in like the flow of the attack and the fundamentals. Where something like Peerless Wind God, you don't have that problem. It's very random, crazy chaos. Does pattern recognition, yeah. There's so much going on Divine Virtues where it's extraordinarily hard to like perfectly, because like you can pre-read every single wave on Divine Virtues if you had the capability to. There's so much going on where it's hard to pre-read everything perfectly and to understand it perfectly, but you can get a lot of recognition on this to pick a lot of things up. Where it's like, I'm picking up waves that are coming. Hey, this is that wave. I know what's around it. Where you can't really as well do that on other attacks like Peerless Wind God. This is what I say. The hardest part of routing attacks and learning attacks is finding patterns where they don't exist. Or maybe I should say, finding patterns even when they don't truly exist. Because, like, on something like the Peerless Wind God, like, obviously, there's no true pattern, per se. But you're also not sitting there reacting to, like, only winning off of your quick reaction time to the bullet that's next. It's like you are reading, and you're trying to find the closest thing you can assemble to a pattern. So it's like it sort of isn't a pattern, but you kind of can pick up on things that like don't really exist, but sort of do. It's not really a pattern per se, but like you have lines that you're like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find this. Spam could fall into a similar category. Where it's like, obviously it's random bullshit, but like there's a difference between, like, some people are better at spam than others, and it's not just solely related to this guy's got the quickest reaction time of the bunch. It's like you can sit down on spam and get better. Peerless Wind God, you can sit down on Peerless Wind God and get better at it. wind gun come from? Well, there's an aspect where you get better at those quick reactions, at that quick pay, like at that absurd like level of dodging. I'd say. Like fundamentally, that type of dodging is like the highest level, like the hardest thing you can do, type of thing you can do in Touhou, because you find that all the hardest attacks throughout the game is just the sheer bullshit where it's like it's pseudo random at best, and you're just kind of saying good luck. And you gotta play your heart out. So like, and you can get better at like that. But there's also a level where you're trying to pick up on, hey, you know, what's going on? Yeah, probably something along that line. It's not the easiest thing to explain per se. I'm just more talented than most. If you want to try to be narcissistic. This is why I like breaking down attacks, and maybe like I said, if I can like get solid enough at like figure out how to do this type of thing well. Because like obviously like basically anyone who's getting an LNN can probably pick up on a lot of nuance on attacks, right? But like most people, almost every person can look at PDH, and you're just like, oh, this is just random garbage. It's random nonsense. It's just bullshit. It's like only with like enough experience of like actually like going like figuring out, okay, here's like the different patterns, and doing it enough, it's like you realize, hey, there is some semblance of pattern here. You pick up on, hey, okay, this is how this part goes, this is how this goes, with a lot of those attacks. I counted about doing it for divine virtues, but maybe if I try to do it and it's not the hardest thing for me to figure out how to like edit, I like to do that for other attacks. Just simply breaking down and explaining an attack. Because most people, when you see something like Divine Virtues, it's like, maybe you pick up on the idea that there might be a semblance of a pattern, maybe, but like, you don't understand unless unless you're one of the very few people who spend a ton of time. And I'm not out here saying that, like, I'm just better than other people. I just have spent a lot of time into this, so, like, I can pick up on that better than people who haven't spent all that time into it. I fucking hate this attack so much. It's not Hydro Camouflage, but it's close. DMZ, this fucking week has been god-awful with it. Like, last week was phenomenal, dude. Holy moly. Last week was great because Exile Doll was great. You know, Hydro Camouflage was hit or miss, but, like, if it's just Hydro Camouflage, it's fine. This week has fucking sucked. Exile Doll has been a coin toss at best sometimes. And when Hydro and Exile Doll are doing that, it's just miserable. You were sick? Dude, I was sick. Fucking everyone's getting sick right now. I know people getting sick. Like, yeah, apparently it's just the sick week. I didn't stream last Friday because I felt terrible. And then Saturday, Sunday, I was feeling better. And then Monday, Tuesday, I was feeling like I wasn't bad, but I wasn't good. But I think two things about, when I talk about breaking down attacks, it's a core. I think one of the biggest, like, jumps in getting better at Touhou is just simply understanding attacks more, like, easier. Because, like, when you start playing as shmup, and you don't have, like, any experience with this type of thing, it's like, you can kind of pick up on some patterns, but a lot of it is just play the moment. You know, you're playing guerrilla for that. You're just guerrillaing like everything. And when you get better, oftentimes you and like as you get better, you pick up things a bit more, right? It's like, hey, I actually like understand how these attacks break down. So you actually learn a lot of nuance instead of just ripping your gorilla on everything. That's always why I think Sakuya has like a really interesting dynamic across playing Touhou. Because for like an LNN, she's god awful, right? Like ignoring Touhou 20 because I'm not sure about the deets for that. Like, she's debatably the hardest stage 5 boss. But I'd argue for like 1cc purposes, she's not that bad. And this is where I kind of hold this line of like understanding like why she sucks ass for an LNN comparatively to like a 1cc is a very interesting thing. And I think the gorilla aspect has a lot to do to it. Because of how hard it is to, because like you a lot of her attacks, like her nons, it's like there's not a lot of pattern to it, so you have to kind of gorilla it. So when you got these players who it's like all you're doing is just playing to the moment, playing gorilla, it's like Sakuya doesn't stand out a ton as much, and with how like lucky some of her attacks can be, it's not that unthinkable that like you'll get through some of those harder attacks a couple times. Quite a bit of a pattern. I mean, like I said, a lot of the RNG attacks have at least they have a pattern or semblance of a pattern at its core. That doesn't necessarily make them, you know, great. I think this is also another thing that really causes a bit of a communication issue between people who are better at Touhou and people who are less experienced, because like when you're sitting there trying to learn an attack, and you will be at the point where you just don't see the attack properly. Like you're still trying to figure out how to like see the attack. I've done this all the time. I still do this nowadays. I'm better at like picking it up, but it still takes me time when I get to a new attack to be like, how am I supposed to look at this attack? And sometimes I have to like back up and be like, oh, there's a different way to look at the attack. And this is what I think causes a bit of like one of the things that causes a bit of animosity between groups is just the fact that like you have these people who they just don't know, like people don't know what to look for, and you have to sit there and you just don't understand what you're looking at well. And then you have people, I fucking hate you. And you have people who like, who almost is just instinctively, it's like, oh, you just pick it up on it. It's like, oh, you just see it, but like, neither person sees the attack the way the other one does. So it's just completely like fundamentally different. And trying to explain the difference between them is nigh impossible to do, at least over text. Well, just go to that gap. Come on. It's like trying to explain to someone that Clampy's final is like static, or at least aimed static is the better way to put it. Because all you have to do to explain things to people is you say, the attack's static, and as we all know, static attacks are free, right? It's the whole, it's kind of a lot of the issue behind just route it, right? Just route the attack. It's easy once you've routed it. But sometimes there's a question of, like, where do you even begin to try to route it? Yeah. The one thing I do have the slight advantage of, like, streaming, it's I feel like having sometimes having visuals to back it up and talking allows me to explain my thoughts easier than just via text. Why do you do this, Minariko? So much easier. Yeah, but you also have to be careful with that too, because you need the vid. You need like the visuals to you need people to be able to pick up the visuals. Right? You can do an attack. You can do a dodging. You can follow a pattern. A good example of this I think is like Murasa 3. Murasa non 3, right? Like it's kind of rowdy, right? You just kind of like route your way through it because it's consistent just based on your positioning. But you can't just show someone like, oh, here's non 3. There you go. No, maybe that's not necessarily true. Well, here's back to my point. You could send me a video of Murasa non 3, Alan. Of just like a replay of you doing Murasa non 3. I'd be like, oh, I see how you do it. But you can't necessarily do that. But like, not everyone can take that. And again, that's not me saying I'm great. I'm just smarter and better than other people. That's also an issue with this whole thing. It's like I'm trying to explain this type of thing and like trying not to be narcissistic about it. Which, especially the fact I'm not the best at words, can be difficult at times. But like I have people who play here that, you know, who I'd call normal 1ccers, right? And if you showed them a video of Murasa non 3, they have no fucking clue what this means. They just see you doing fucking moves and then you get through it, right? Aggressive skill, yes. But I think there's an element where breaking down an attack, especially with visuals, and like breaking down and explain, hey, you know, explain the different like components of attack and why you do this. This is what I'm thinking. It's like, hey, like when I did Divine Virtues, it's like breaking down the different parts and why I'm looking for the things I'm looking for with the visuals and stuff. not only is it like helps a viewing experience to a degree, but like it also helps people. Hey, because like you could sit there and like try to route the attack, but if you have like if you have a guide there to be like, hey, this is like why this type of thing works. This is the type of thing you're looking for, even if it's not like you're not copying it 1-to-1. Inflation being a super player vid, deal with it, yeah. Well, that's that. Like when I was when I was grinding all my Lunatic 1cc's, the way that I would like figure out attacks is like I played attack and like attacks that I struggled with. My method was to pop up like one of Yatz's LNNs and look at his strat. Now sometimes I couldn't copy it well because he never plays his homing, so there are some things that don't like copy 1-to-1 per se, but like. And maybe I'd have to look elsewhere, but for the most part, it's like I just have to pop up at, like his video of an LNN and try to like copy it like that. But that doesn't solve the problem. Oftentimes, like one of my biggest examples I take with this was me trying to learn Kaguya's final. I've commented this before, and I'm sure I'll comment this many times in the future as well. When I was trying to learn Kaguya's final, I'm not talking Rising World. I'm talking about, what is it, Four Eye Barrage? The final before the time, like the extra, like the bonus attacks. Four Eye Jewel, yeah. It took me an hour and a half to get a single cap, and I was ecstatic when I got that single cap. It was 180 attempts. And this was the thing, like, it was the third Touhou game I ever played. I was still I'd been playing for about a year at that point. I think just over a year. But like, I was not as good as I am now, of course. And like, I was like, okay, I gotta figure out this attack. So I'd gotten to it like twice in a run, but I couldn't like muscle my way through it. And so I watch someone like Yachts doing the attack and making it look easy. And I just cannot, like, I just redo it over and over and over. Like I said, for an hour and a half, just constantly re-practicing it. By the way, without everlasting BGM, so every time I die, it's just back to the beginning of the theme again, over and over and over again. And it's just me trying to pick up, like, oh, I picked up the fade! Because, like, I can watch him do it, but, like, I don't understand the attack. I don't understand what I'm looking for. And I'd have to just keep ripping it over and over and keep trying to, like, look at it, be like, what am I doing? And, like, there's, like, 4 different, like, eureka moments where, I finally understand a part. Bracket resetting. I don't think I had the bracket at that point. I used the in-game spell practice. I didn't use the prac until Touhou 10. That's when I found out about the existence of it. Does it actually have... I don't think it has. I just remember every time I die hearing the piano opening again, I feel. I don't know, I'd have to look back or something. Hack a human. Hey, any Hydro Camouflage enjoyers? Hydro Camo is an attack I always like to bring up for trying to do a breakdown of the attack. I fucking hate you so very much. Because, like, if you don't know what you're looking for, Hydro Camouflage does not look that bad. Like, I will say this 100%. To what I would call the normal 1cc, like, level player, Hydro Camouflage does not look that intimidating, at least compared to so many other things. what is there. But what I was getting at with Kaguya Final, it's like is just the fact that like I could see people like making it look easy, but like I didn't know why. It was after sitting there for like an hour and a half and like just like I said, like 4 different eureka moments where I'm like I finally like understand this is what I'm looking for. QED. Yeah. It definitely looks harder than a good bit of attacks, I'd say, but it doesn't look like it's that bad. Per se. At least, like, not as bad as a lot of things. Like, you could put books down. And, like, almost everyone can sit there on, like, books and just see, oh, this looks like pure piss and garbage. But not everything is as obvious. Game knowledge, yeah, experience in game knowledge is a big thing with a lot of that. Gengetsu Taibo phase. Yeah. Hey, where's your Gengetsu rage phase cap, Alan? Bottom hug only, I was gonna say no focus, but that game doesn't have focus, does it? Wait, focus was added in Lotus Land, was it not? Focus there, okay. Yeah, I think now that I think about it, I think Lotus Land is where focus is added. Because I know it's not in Pod. I'm pretty sure it's in this, now that he thinks about it. Although I could be mistaken. But as someone who streams Touhou almost every day of the week and plays an awful lot of Touhou, it's like the more and more I deal with people, because I see a lot of people from like the actual what I call lunatic Touhou scene, like Alan, like you and other people, whether or not they're, you know, lower level lunatic players or higher level or score players, but like people who are like really into the gameplay. But I also see a large number of people who like Touhou, but are either like pretty like what I consider normal Touhou players, or they like don't even touch the games like at all, or barely any. And there's a lot of things that like I kind of take for granted with like routing and like playing and like mechanics and stuff that like people just don't know. That some of these people don't know. I'm like, and like I enjoy like sitting down on Divine Virtues and like breaking the attack apart piece by piece. I also think it helps me too, like to like break the attack down to figure out all like a lot of different parts to it. Very basic. Oh yeah. I mean, I always say, every time I cap Peerless Wind God, like, let me just take every time I cap Peerless Wind God, I take it for granted. Like, there was a point in time 6 years ago where I'd look at Peerless Wind God and be like, this is the fucking dumbest thing how the fuck are you gonna do this? Yeah, it's kind of like a two-piece thing there. Three-piece thing, because I think it actually makes decent content, too. Gotta be the business entrepreneur out here. Like, I'll say straight up that, like, what I did on Divine Virtues is not only something that, like, was good for me, but also was nice for, like, other people. Like, I had a couple different normal players who liked what I did there. This is not what you do here. I like throwing on these fairies. Any other throwers in chat? Because it's also cool, like, when you're watching someone... I'll say, this is something, like, it's why there's a lot of games that's, like, games that I'm knowledgeable in, I'm more interested in, like, watching. And one thing is, it's just, like, when you know what to look at, it makes it more attractive. Yeah. Also, hello, Hydro Camouflage. Holy base, we're so back. I mean, because I have 11 in here, and it's not like he's going to be sitting out here playing these games on Lunatic anytime soon by any means. It's not really what he does, but, like, I had him telling me he liked that just because, like, even if he only uses it, like, that information a little bit, just, like, because otherwise you have these people who, like, see Divine Virtues, attack that, like, we can recognize as, like, oh, yeah, it's a fairly structured attack. And, like, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that was a really bad wave. Or I'm like, ooh, this is a really, like, this is kind of an easy wave. Ooh, this wave really sucked. And, like, to kind of explain some of the concepts of it, be like, hey, this is why this sucks. 149 score? Dude, that's so Jover. Yeah, it's like if anyone's ever watched speedruns. It's like whenever you first watch a speedrun, it can often blow your mind at times. And you just feel like, wow, this is just insane. And then if you like rewatch it more and more, and you like watch the person or like the game more and more, and you get a better understanding of like, hey, what's going on, you actually know, hey, what to look for. Because otherwise you don't know what's difficult or what's not. You can, like, pick up some ideas. like sometimes you'll see someone do something that's like, ooh, that looked rough, and it's like, no, that was actually like really easy, and vice versa. We're gonna be Yuka today. Oh, we absolutely are. Do you know why? Because pants stay brown. I love Stage 4. And you know what? Game Glitcher, you know what pants stay brown means? You know what that's referring to? It's referring to the concept that we never wipe. Listen, born to shit, forced to wipe. We don't wipe. Okay? Like this run, we don't wipe. I'm just saying. I've seen that term in like challenge runs before. It's like, oh man, this is a hard fight. We might like lose the run off of this. Speed run, same thing. You could use this in Touhou too. It's like, we don't wipe here. Pants stay brown. Hello, Momijur. Don't do me like that. Yep. I did look. Oh my! What happened? I killed it at 14 seconds, but it must have been extended by another... I must have killed it, like, right as it turned to 14 seconds, so it was still in the previous wave? There must be a window there where it's like, it was, like, 14.9 seconds, and it, like, still spawned in the previous wave. Stop reading and play. If I was... Me not reading chat wouldn't have saved anything there. Oof. I mean, unless I just completely, like, fundamentally misunderstood the way the attack is. Like... Really? Did you move too much? Breath? My Luigi rates are in shambles right meow. Oof. Crap. My VG rates are in shambles. This is not going to be a 14-second. I'm just playing like a certified dog shit right now. Only getting 13 seconders. That's a 15-seconder. They'll always force the second wave. Wait, what? No, let me just fucking go. Let me just open up my VOD and Twitch website. Let me just fucking open it up on Twitch. Oh, I'm gonna mute for a second. Okay, Twitch is already muted. Primo Meiji Wave. Oh, I'm just brain dead. I just cut back a wave earlier than I like normally do. You're right. I just had an actual stroke. Okay. I just started going back to the left like a whole wave early for no fucking reason. So I'm very smart. No, I knew plenty about this. I just completely misread what I normally do. I just I always go through that wave on the up on the right. I always do that. I just was like, oh, I cut back on this one. There's a whole wave earlier than you cut back on. I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back, and then I'll talk about you, Game Glitcher. Cut back. I mean, well, you do eventually go back to the left, after all the bullets end. But you go to the right, and then eventually the Mentos end. You cut back up to the left because there is that the uppermost wave, like blue wave, is cutting off from like just keep going to the right. So because you start in the bottom left corner, you stream right to the middle, you stream right like a little bit more, the Mentos end, and then you jump back to the middle. And I just like started going back. I just decided I'm gonna go back to the left a whole wave early. Because I'm a certified genius. Okay, this time for sure. Whatever, I actually got a good pace going, so that's what matters. Oh, I did not do that properly. Minus 2,000 faith. Okay, we make up with it against Minariko. That's Momiji. I don't... Pace past Momiji is not what I'm looking for. The difference in paces is stage 3. Notably Hydro Camouflage, but it's really just stage 3. Like, that's the most important pace. Is whether or not it's a pace past Hydro or not. Generally, I'll use the cup at the end of stage 3, though. Oops. Rest in peace, Fade. Like, generally, I'll refer to it like this. The early game is up to Hydro. Maybe you could say up to Notori. The mid game is through Aya and probably... What the fuck am I doing? I'm just having a stroke right now. I can't read the waterfall. I lose myself on Athena. I mean, I just lose herself in her eyes all the time. Wish you bad luck today. Thanks, I appreciate it. Look, the Mediteco? What the fuck is that? What am I doing? What is Mediteco? We speak English. It's gotta go spell one, of course, of course. Yeah, but I'm also not a player that is, I'm not one of those players that's under the realm where the only 2 spells in the game that matter are Peerless Wind God and Divine Virtues, and everything else is meaningless. It's like, generally the way I look at it is like, I'll say Notori as a whole, with Hydro being the big deal, but like, that's the early game. It's and that's the most important part of the run, is just getting through that as consistently as humanly possible. And the mid game is probably through Sinai from that point. And well, honestly, I can refer to the mid game as stage 4 and the late game as stage 5+. I'm just not routing anything right now. What is wrong with me? The ends of GT, of course, of course. Are you gonna be one of those players that makes the joke in PCB where early game ends at spam, and then the game ends at spam? PCB. Come on, you want to? Don't you want to fight Lily Whitemore? From ages. Oh, okay, old man Alan out here. 4-7 yonder ago. We get it. The caveman had to practice Touhou without the frack. Back in my day, we had to walk to school both ways uphill in the middle of a blizzard. Hello, Bumper. Clearly, the early game ends with Bumper Crawl. The hardest part of the run. But I don't necessarily use the universal definition of early game, mid game, and late game, which is also completely subjective definition, by the way. But like I think like the structure of so many Touhou games are very different from each other. Even though they like every game except 1 and 2 really follows the 6-stage structure. -1 Faith. Dude, the score run is Jover. Mid-game is the end credits. The late game is actually having to save your replay without having a your replay desync. Hardest part of the run. I mean, people are free to disagree with me. Like I said, this is a purely subjective thing. But, like, I take, like, EOSD. I'd say early game lasts up to books. Like, books starts the mid-game, I'd argue. Well, let's take something like DDC. I think DDC early game ends at, going into Kagero. But yeah, I think that's a fair line. I mean, it's not like the difference is that much. It's like it's a full stage worth. It's not like that drastic. But like, I think what I define as early, mid, and late game does vary a bit for a little bit throughout the games. It's especially kind of weird, and like, let's take this game for example. I put everything I put Hydro Camouflage like the end of the early game. Maybe like probably towards the end of the early game, in all honesty. And then like I put Stage 4 as the mid game and Stage 6 as the late game. I don't know where to put Stage 5. Early game ends at Alice. Yeah, I think that's very fair. Like, this game has early game, mid game, stage 5, question mark, and late game. Like... the game here. Yeah, I think stage 4 is so polarizing in that regard. Like, I would say, let's take Subterranean. I'd say early game is up through Yugi. Mid game is up to Orin, and late game is Orin and Stage 6. In my eyes, at least. Like I said, completely subjective, completely subjective opinion. And by subjective, I mean it's entirely objective. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. 5 Orins, you raise a good point. The main Orin boss. Stage 5, like, big boss. End boss. Did you not drop? Tori really trying to drop it like it's hot. Midnon 2. I mean, yeah. I think when you separate, like, after Yugi to Midnon 2 is kind of subjective there. Like wherever you'd consider the jump there. Like, Satori stands out a lot. But I think that stage, like, has enough quirks to want to not do this to me, game. You know, yeah, that means it's free, right, Alan? I mean, so much of my time playing Subterranean was just spent like, do you get past Reimu C? Or not Reimu C? What the fuck am I talking about? Do you get past Satori? Like, step 1's making it to Satori. Step 2's getting past Satori, and then Catwalk. So like, I'd almost say the mid game ends with Satori, but I think realistically, I'd put it like at the start of the Orin fight, because like that stage 5 is pretty polarizing in its like the stage portions are not free, specifically in the latter half, and Catwalk exists, and I put that as like the Great Levy, and then like Orin Plus. Although this also might vary slightly from shot type to shot type, and the fact that I'm a Catwalk player and some people are not Catwalk players. you don't have to go up. Like, you can go to the right. Okay. Okay, Notori. Okay, that was on me though. I should have got through that. But like, literally the worst possible RNG on Cephalic Plate. Hello? Oh, that's weird. Usually when I get bad RNG, I play better on Cephalic Plate. When I get good RNG, I usually fumble. I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I said I think like the mid game is getting through like the stage portion of stage 5, because that like the mid boss is kind of rough. Even if you skip Cat's Walk, as long as you're not like safe spawning the nons, then you gotta still do popcorn to some degree. Or you have to time down the nons. Either or is not the greatest thing to do in the world. But I'd say from Orin through Oku, I don't think the game like scales it that much. With Oku through Orin. Like Oku through Orin. What the fuck am I saying? Orin through Oku. Like the main Orin boss through Oku. I don't feel like there's like a notable distinguisher. It's a big deal. Absolutely. I mean, like, I lost several runs to whatchamacallit? UNR. In fact, the first time I made it past UNR on pace was the time I got my LNN. Crazy. And that's not talking down Peta. Peta's plenty of problem. I just was fortunate enough to get past Peta. I don't know. I never liked timed down Cat's Walk particularly much. I timed down a little bit, specifically on Non 1. And actually, to be fair, by the end of it, I was doing a bit on Non 2. I don't think I would agree. I think I don't think I would I'd agree. I can see an idea where you're coming from. But But Non 2 was one of those attacks that, like, I feel like looks super scary, but I found it, like, not to be as scary as nearly as scary as it, like, looks. Maybe I'm just better than everyone. Oh my gosh. Slay. It's like, it was certainly, like, a point of contention at times. But, I don't think I'm gonna, for a second, say that an additional wave of Cat's Walk is easier than timing down Non 2 as much as I need to time down Non 2. Let me see. That is, I mean, to be fair, Alan, that's just like that's your own doing though. Like you could play as the clearly superior shot type or anything else. I mean, I give you credit. It's no persuasion needles. Like, you're not playing as Reimu A, I'll give it that much, but, like, you're clearly playing as what we all know is the inferior shot type. You don't want to wave Cat's Walk unless Marissa C? Yeah, I totally got my one-wave Cat's Walks as Reimu B. I mean, I was able to, by the end of it, do like 1.7 waves at like best. Probably like 1.6, 1.7, which is the most important part, but... Even harder? Yeah, but what if you just, like, play PETA, like, focus only? Never let go of the focus button. Surely that's optimal, right? Catwalk is one of those tags where you can see the pattern and then it gets pretty consistent. That is an opinion of all time. I'll tell you that. That is certainly an opinion that I've just read. Oop! Like a rage bait message? It 100% does. I mean, if someone's gonna sit here and argue that, like, flying insect nest is harder, like, I've heard that before. And, like, I listened to that statement. Well, I mean, it of course depends on, like, how much popcorn you're giving yourself, right? Like 3-4 seconds, even like 5 seconds of popcorn is fine. It's really kind of exclusive to, like, how much popcorn you give yourself. And by fine, I mean not great, but it's like it's still very, very. It's not terrible. Fine is a loose word there. So, I mean, I did, like, practice a couple times, like, a few longer corns. I just found it, like, a lot more consistent just to generally time down not to. Especially leading into the restreaming afterwards, I just found it to be, like, a lot more consistent, personally. Ah, why do you do that to me? Impact. I'm up there. I don't know if I'd say the biggest impact to me. I still think that answer goes to Satori. But like, earlier parts of the games are a little more biased because they gatekeep the later parts of the game. I don't think you're the only one. I just think it's not a common statement. Also, I need to double check here. How long is short corn? I feel like depending on who you ask, the definition of short corn is it's not a very definite. What did I just do? Like, are we talking, like, 2 seconds of popcorn? Are we talking, like, 5 seconds of popcorn? 7 seconds? 10 seconds? Probably like second. I don't know if I'd define 7 seconds as a short corn. But my other question is, why are we getting 7 seconds of corn? Like, what's the circumstance where you're getting, like, 7 seconds worth of popcorn? Like, how much do you get if you don't time... I mean, I guess, like, you know, it depends a little bit on who you're playing as, with, like, kill times. But, like... Dude, Rainbow A player's in fucking shambles, dude. Rainbow B actually does it better because you don't have to time down as much because you just kill it later for all the attacks. Honestly, dude, Rainbow B is broken, Alan. I tell you. Every time. Rainbow B is actually just insane at Orin Midnon because you kill longer, so you don't have to time out as much. Holy shit, I think I broke the meta. That's what's no corner. Yes, but what I'm saying is comparing Corrin to Catswalk. And also the fact that, you know, you Rainbow A players play the game on free mode. Yeah, I have done that before as well. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, this is fine, and then you, like, never count out the ability to whoopsie-woo on something that's not the most painful thing in the world. Like, I'll say, everything in the game is intended to kill, and sometimes it's just... Whoops. But if I mean it, like I said, the definition of short Corrin versus Catswalk is really like the definition of short Corrin is the thing, because like consider that like a ton of people play the game where you skip Catswalk, right? And so you have to deal with that Corrin. So like clearly a lot of people believe that to be better, but like that depends on what your definition of Corrin, of short Corrin. Like, I don't know how many people... Like, I do not, for the life of me, know how many people would define... Like, genuinely. Like, I'm not saying this is like a... People won't agree with this. But I don't know how many people would define 7 seconds as short Corrin. Why do you have to drop? You know what? I'm just gonna spite you and stall. Also, Alan, I've said like in this game, there's like 4 attacks in the entire game where you actually get like the bottom hug damage increase value, and I've said that Kaneko non-1. I hate this spell. Is one of them, but then I did realize the other day that that's not actually true, because the damage bonus only applies to spell cards because of damage rounding. So that damage boost doesn't exist on Kaneko non-1 for bottom hugging anyway. Because like, oh, that's like one of the only attacks where she's consistently at like a height where you can take advantage of it. And, like, you know, bottom hugging is actually, like, a reasonable option. So, like, you're actually taking advantage of Kaneko non-1. Then I realized that the damage kind of bug, as I'll say, only applies to spell cards. Because it's only a thing because of spell card rounding. Skip shotguns. I think the proper strat is to speed kill non-1, speed kill non-2, kill Cat's Walk, then do all of Popcorn and shotguns. Clearly, that's the play. Sigma? No, that's from Touhou 2. That's Eastern Wonderland. Has Evil Eye Sigma in it. I think you're getting your games confused. I broke myself on that Momiji. I had that one good Momiji, and I broke myself on the waterfall afterward. Now my brain cannot recover. It has never been more Jover. It's actually better than it was on Sunday anyway, though, so... Captain Rockman X? No. That's the protagonist of Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. No, not Zero Time Dilemma, what did I say? Virtue's Last Reward, my bad. Although he is in Zero Time Dilemma, too. Yeah, but let me guess as well, Alan. You time out or in Midnon 2 on stage 4. Yeah, and not only that, but you also probably time out Yoshika. SMH my head. Gap Yoshika, okay. Get forced to clown. You hate when that happens. Game Glitcher, can I get your opinion on a safe spot? Just safe spotting. Like, what are your thoughts on safe spotting Orin? That's not the answer I want you to give, Game Glitcher. I want you to sit here and say that safe spots are terrible, and if you do safe spots, you should be executed for it. Not that I agree with that definition, but that's what I want you to say. That's not what I... Game Glitcher, I need you to give a harsher reaction to this. Only have Levos here. Well, he's usually not that... You're usually more anti-safe spot than he is. Too bad 11 died. Went to Canada, passed away. Dude, worst crime of all. They're boys. See, there you go. That's not harsh enough, though. Like, obviously, like, most sane people in communities like this are gonna be like, you know, I do the strats I do, but, like, you can, you know, you do what you do, and, like, they're perfectly fine, right? Everyone does what they do. The correct line is, if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. I need people to say that, so we can get, like... them said yes, and that's a good thing for the community as a whole to have, but I need more people who are willing to just sit here and, like, the moment people talk like that, just immediately start shitting on just for fun. Not even because they believe it, just because it's fun. We need more toxicity is what I'm saying, Alan. There we go. See, now you're getting at it. That's full restore spammers, so true. Certified brat moment. It's the same thing, like, honestly. Wait. I have a question. Chicken Butt, if you're still here, I need you to answer this question. I need Alan to not say anything. I need to ask you on, whatchamacallit? I can't remember the attack name off the top of my head. Oku Penultimate. Fuck, what is the attack called? Someone say the name of the attack and don't say anything about the attack. Takamak. I need to ask. What Takamaker are you? What type of Takamak? If you're a middle Takamaker, that's kind of based. I'll say that. I'll condone the middle Takamak. I had that one too. Okay, because left is terrible. Like, why would you ever do Takamak on the left, dude? like my rule of thumb is right is proper, left is just terrible. Like why would you ever do like lefty? You're just a sociopath. Middle is based, a little bit, and corner is actually like optimal. Okay, game. I'm running out of one more. It's my like concentration level. Ever since that one, Momiji just dropped to like 0. Also, second question: are you a Peerless Wind God on the left or right? Left. Okay, that's okay. That's. Whew. I don't have to ban you. Oh, thank goodness. You're safe. For now. Full Fearless Wind God. Yeah, but you have to make sure that like you do it right, because if you put if you do the pull as left, right, or middle, too many people are gonna say middle for the meme. Spam on the left or right? I did spam left. Like, Peerless Wind God, I'm generally more closer to the wall than I was on spam. Spam is like a little more centralized, but I always did spam left. I may be remembering spam incorrectly, because it's been 10 months since I played PCB. But if I'm not mistaken, don't the fairies start spawning on the left first? Or, like, during the big part of it, is there, like, no real difference? Because I know the very beginning they spawn left, then right, and then they start, like, spawning a bunch at the same time. But I thought they spawned the left first. I'm not 100% confident. But I think that's one of the reasons why left might actually be, like, better on it. Fantasy ever innate dream guy? Ooh, that's also a good question. Dude, yeah. Those. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta get the band hammer out. Mods? Mods? God damn it. Where are my mods when I need them? Where are all 0 of them? In? In what? Dude, it's not a real thing. SMH. Alan, it's SMH my head. You know, yeah. So good too. Yeah, but you have to understand that, like, none of the, like, you and me are the only players, like, I'm like the only, like, lunatic Touhou player that actually has, like, played the fighting games. As much as I have my questionable opinions on them. That was bad faith management, dude. No world record pace. Unbelievable. Yeah, 12.8 is... Actually, no, 12.3, excuse me, is well after Touhou 8. 4.3 games after, actually. Buy Me a Scarlet Devil, PCB, Imperishable Knight. Well, actually, technically, Immaterial Missing Power is 7.5, not 8.5. I always get that confused. Phantasmagoria of Flower View. If I can shoot the cringe. Mountain of Faith. Scarlet Weather Rhapsody. Subterranean. Hisun Toko. Double Spoiler. I always forget the name of Double Spoiler. Great Fairy Wars. 10 Desires. Hopeless Masquerade. Double Dealing Character. Urban Legend and Limbo. All K. Antinomy of Common Flowers. Hidden Star. Violet Detector. Wily Beast. Sunken Fossil World. Hundredth Black Market. Fucking... Was it something like... Is it Unified or Unfinished Dream of Living Ghost? Of a Living Ghost. One of those two. And then, I forget what False Lives Wonders? Is USD in this room with you right now? Unfinished Dream? Okay. I can't remember always because I always see it abbreviated as Udolig, and I can never quite remember what the U stands for. I know the rest of it well. Who's the living ghost, though? Of all living ghosts? All? I thought it was all living ghosts. I didn't think it was all. You only play 3 games. What are those 3 games, Chicken Butt? And if it's not Pod, then I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go. ECB Moth and SA. Wow, that's conveniently the first 3 LNNs I've grinded for. So I'm glad you have okay, you know what? You're not banned anymore. Pod's not on the list, so that raises an eyebrow, but you know. Office of Possible, so true. Hydrocamouflage exists. Chicken Butt, have you ever thought about all gold medals and Great Fairy Wars, though? I heard it's a pretty good category. Trust you. I'll trust you. I love this attack. I love this attack. It's my favorite attack in all of Touhou. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. At some point you just got to commit. You got finisher. What am I doing? Get bored of this game and move on before I get the LNN? No. The LNN is a test of determination. Until you've out-determined the game. It's like, eventually the game will learn. Pororoka? What is it? What the fuck is that? Poroka? What? Porokoa. Is that what it is? It's a Brazilian word. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't speak Brazilian. Final again. That is a very ambitious take for today. I'd be lucky if I get past this stage right now, looking at what happened on the last cephalic plate. Never underestimate illusionary waterfall, though. Is a true thing that needs to be said. Literally free, bro. I'm feeling better. My throat is still, like, a little, like, phlegmy. Like, I don't feel bad, but, like, my throat... Can you, like, not? Holy shit, dude. What is wrong with Notori on cephalic plate today? At least she didn't double dip. See, game glitcher. This is why I need you to. This is why I need you to be more hostile like that. Well, versus Pollock. No, I mean it just makes the cutback on the left like a little bit tighter. Like, I'll say this, Alan, when she moves like straight up like that, honestly, like, it's worse RNG for the attack in my opinion. I play better when she forces me to do that. It's worse for the spell, but it makes me play better. For whatever reason. Like, when I get good RNG, I tend to play worse. I almost never die. Like, it's really rare for me to die Cephalic, even, like, when I'm playing, like, worse. But, like, I always find myself, like, when I get good RNG, I play worse. Okay, game, this is your final hurrah. I'm, you know, it's been, like, 2 hours on the day. It's been, like, 3 months, damn. You might be washed. I might be washed. Nice try with that clump there, Shoddy. Hey, I'm not going to cut back at the wrong time there. Although this isn't the waterfall, that's the god-awful cutback waterfall. Was that you're gonna have to be more precise. That's one of those Momijis where playing vertical is beautiful. Sometimes you gotta play vertical on Momiji, and it really pays. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, Reimu B player. Fucking persuasion needle Dude, the big needle propagandists are at it again. It's unbelievable. Yeah, that was really aggressive. Sometimes you play really aggressive and don't get punished. And you know what? We take those. In fact, actually, what you say in that situation is free. Yeah. Any Aya fans in chat? Ooh, so speaking of Aya, the egg conversation extends further than I thought. I'm not gonna go on about it right now because I'm on Aya, but like, there are more eggs than I thought about before that has to be considered for the egg conversation. Like, I've grown to like Aya. I used to be, like, iffy towards her. I hate the sugar-free. I fucking hate the I dropped too low. I should have stayed up on the left there. Oops. I mean, we would take the bad lines on Storm Day again. I do the hard line and I live it, and then I do the easy line and then I die to it. I'll do Fearless One God and call the run. I might as well try it since I'm here. With the eggs. Now, well, turns out there's a lot more Touhou characters that lay eggs than I initially thought. That was a relatively free Fearless Wind God, not gonna lie. Who else? Well, it turns out... Ooh, wow. It turns out, like, all, like, the Beast Yokai do. The cat yokai are said to lay eggs, so this this list actually like extends a lot. Yeah, and there's also some characters like Wriggle and Momoyo that I never considered before. Yeah, I glanced through this. But like, there's a number of characters in this list. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting a little hungry too. I gotta wait till I'm done streaming, but I'm not doing another run. That was a good run to end it on. It's beyond reason, though, yeah. Because I think the whole idea about the cat eggs thing is something Sakuya said at one point, from the looks of this. I'd have to, like, look through more context, and I didn't look through more context, but... I'm gonna glance at this right now, hold up. And there's a lot of people arguing over whether or not they like the fact that characters lay eggs. Hmm. Hmm. I'll need an actual like lore officer on this for sure, but you know, I just read the egg conversation might go deeper than I thought previously. That's the that's the whole point. I'd have to really like speak to the lore connoisseurs. Make the most epic chicken pen ever. What does that mean? Tina Day today. This was like my best day of the week. No, that's not true. I think like Tuesday was better. This was like my second best day in like the past week. You wipe to Yuki every time? No.